How do I network?
Hi, it's Christine, your marketing creator startup coach. Today I want to give you a few tips for networking. Networking is really easy for me and it just feels natural. I love talking to people. I love to give value to people. I love to help people. I love to get inspired by other people. But it's really difficult to explain to other people how you can improve it. So I got some input from people who saw me networking and gave me a few things that said, okay, this is what you do. This is not what is natural to everyone. So I want to give you these tips today. Have an opening conversation. Have an opener of some sort, because going up to people and just talk to them might be a bit intimidating for some people. So make sure you have some kind of an opening for people. It might be a specific thing and it's always the same that you're doing when meeting new people, and that's completely fine. Or it might be an opening about something that you just saw, a talk. The networking might start off with a talk and then there's time for networking afterwards. So you can think about, okay, what do I say? What do I do? What can I do when I go towards the people and want to talk to them? Think about the dress code. What are you wearing when you go to a networking event, when you go to a talk, when you go to a workshop, anywhere really, because you can network anywhere, even in the supermarket. But there's different dress codes for different occasions. If you go to a black tie event, you need to obviously dress in a different way than if you go, I don't know, to a beach club networking event. So just make sure you dress appropriately, but dress in something that you feel comfortable in. There's different kind of people when it comes to networking, and one of that is you can be an introvert or an extrovert. So I'm obviously an extrovert. I love talking to people. I love talking in front of a lot of people, a big audience, and I don't mind that at all. I don't mind the camera now. At the beginning it was a bit, okay, let's talk to someone who's not there, but I know you're there and you're watching it, and that makes it much easier for me. But an extrovert is someone who easily goes towards people. An introvert might be someone who's like really shy and has difficulties talking to people. Figure out what kind of person you are, and you probably know already, and see how you can overcome this. Or if you are an extrovert, how can you help introvert people to introduce them to other people that you already talk to in the group. And smile. Really, don't forget to smile. A smile can go a long way. Even if you don't walk towards the person and start talking, shaking the hands and introducing yourself and asking them a lot of questions. But if you start having eye contact and smile, we're not talking about flirting unless you want to and it's a dating party. That's maybe not networking, but it's about eye contact and a smile. Okay? Inviting people to talk to you. Make sure you're confident enough. There's a line between confidence and arrogance. Arrogance is usually where you look down at people, you think you're good at everything. If you're confident, you know what you're good at and you know what you're not good at, and you're totally fine with that. This at least is like my short 5-second explanation, or however long it was. If you're not confident enough, look up on the internet how you can increase your confidence, and that will help you with networking as well. Then there's a lot of body language going on when you network, so the non-verbal communication as you want, and you need to make sure you build rapport with people quickly and you match or mirror their body language. This is like, okay, they cross their arms, you cross your arms as well, or they cross their arms and you cross your legs instead. Matching, mirroring, super quick explanation, but you can look it up online as well if you want to. But there's a lot of non-verbal communication going on, and that's the same if you want to go towards a group of people. Let's say there's 3 people standing in a group talking already. So if they're open, so if it looks like there's a space left for someone to go to, then yes, they welcome, and not on purpose, but their body language shows we welcome other people joining this conversation that we're having. But if they're really close, and even 2 people, if they're really closed group, or there's not really a good space for you to stand, then I would probably not go towards that group and talk to them, because their body language shows, okay, we're in this conversation and it's going very well, and someone else would disrupt this conversation at the moment. Networking is not all about you. It's about providing value to others. What can you give them? What's going to help them? If you go with this kind of attitude into a networking event, it will help you to get accepted quicker, and people will take you more serious, and they want to stay in contact with you because they see you as a valuable input. How do you do that? Don't just talk the whole time about yourself. Listen and ask questions and see how you can relate to that. Maybe even then give already input, give feedback, give tips, and say, oh, I have this great resource I can give you that you can download for free on my website, or I saw a TED talk about this the other day that you need to see that will help you a lot. So try to figure out how you can help and how you can provide value. And not only at the event whilst you're talking, even afterwards, okay? Continue your networking relationships with people, and that can even be you go somewhere and you know that person is by themselves at this conference like you maybe, and say, oh, let's have dinner tonight together, or you find a group of people and you go to dinner. And then you can act as a connector as well. You can connect people, so you might have talked to one already and then talk to another person, and when you talk to the second person, you might say, oh, I just talked to someone that you need to meet, and then you connect them with each other. You connect them whilst going to dinner. Maybe you introduce them if they're not at the same event, but you say, oh, you know what, I know someone who you should meet. So you can think about all these things. How can you provide even more value, and how can you connect people together? After the event, I would strongly recommend to add them on LinkedIn, Xing, whatever the social networking platform is that you're using, but that's a really good way to stay connected as well, and to keep seeing their feed and them seeing your feed to see what you're up to. They can also then check you out a bit more about what you've done in your life and what your skills are, because obviously at a networking event you usually don't have hours and hours to talk about things and to introduce you properly maybe. They should, however, understand what you're doing whilst you're meeting them. But connecting with them straight away after LinkedIn and sending them an email saying, hey, lovely to meet you, here's the link I was talking about. Or if you didn't promise them anything, just say, hey, lovely to meet you, I sent you a LinkedIn request, looking forward to staying connected. And you need to think about how you close a networking conversation, okay? Sometimes they can drag on a bit too long. Now, there's no right or wrong length of time. If you're in a really interesting conversation, there's no reason why you shouldn't continue. But you obviously want to talk to other people as well. So think about how you can finish off a networking conversation and without being too abrupt. Now, in the Creative Startup Academy online community and the downloadable resource area, you can download more networking tips like this as well. So make sure, if you haven't joined already, the Creative Startup Academy online community. In this Creative Startup Academy online community, you will find much more FAQ videos like this, monthly live webinars, and also the recordings of the previous webinars I've done so that you can review them. There's a forum where you can ask me and the other entrepreneurs in the community questions that you have. There's book recommendations, inspirations, and a lot more of downloadable resources.